Welcome back to Factorio building the Hyperbase. Obviously a little bit of time has gone by. What I've done is, well, I've just recently built out this, but we're not actually using it yet. This is all of the area for this extra iron to be converted into steel, but I have brought this online. It is helping the steel supply in our first LDS build, and actually let's give this the right symbol as well. This is our second LDS build, and it's also it's slightly starved for steel, but it's not actually LDS that's the problem at this point. We've moved the problem to fuel, and the fuel is not doing too badly. I think this, no, that's plastic. The fuel, that one will be on its way shortly, so will that one. Let's just make sure that it's going where we want it. No, that's actually going to go to the satellite fuel. This one will go to the silo though. In spite of all of that, we've been averaging fairly comfortably, say over the last hour, our 2.7, which is close to, I mean, we're doing at the moment, what is it, 2.8 I think? Yeah, 2.8 is what it actually is. So obviously there's been brief moments when we haven't quite done the 2.8, so the average over an hour is 2.7, but it's pretty close to it. And I have been tuning the build to get it to this point. Now I've just realized I don't have a clock. Let me just see if I can get a clock. There, okay. Yep, that'll do. Just so I know what's going on. So it's not on the screen. I should really have a clock on here perhaps. So we're past 4,000 launches at the moment. We're shooting hard into 266 mining productivity. If I get out of that map view, UPS still isn't too bad. This has gotten quite close, about 3 off I guess from fully connecting up here. And yes, we've started covering up that oil, leaving the not so, it's still not too bad, but yeah, we've covered up that oil. I don't think we're ever going to go all the way up there for it anyway. This is column 17 I guess. So yeah, 17, 18, 19. Is that right? Does that finish it off? Supposed to. Guess we'll find out soon. Anyway, what I want to do, because we've been doing fairly well with the science and I've kind of stabilized where it's at, I think it might be time to risk extending this to 4. I think we're missing some labs. I'm not sure how many we're missing, but I think we are missing some. We're obviously missing cars. We might be missing, it doesn't look like we're missing too many inserters, or oh yeah, we are actually missing some of the beacons as well. So what we'll do is we'll jump on board here and we will head back. I probably should look to get some power down to this, but there you go, 266 is finished. Let's get 267 happening. I mean, we're not doing our max science by any means, but Oh, which one of the? Oh, that's all right. We're not doing our max science, but as you can see, they're not taking particularly long. What is it? It's sort of 26,000 per one of these sciences, so it's kind of 10 minutes if we weren't being slowed down, maybe slightly longer, because we are. I didn't actually want trains. It's actually about the second time I've done that today. So we also didn't really need those. I'll stop picking those up, come on. We did need some labs. I wasn't sure quite how many labs we were missing. Maybe if we get sort of 50. Oops. If we get like 50 labs. That's plenty of those. We may need some inserters. Let's get at least 100 just in case. And that should actually fill us out quite nicely if we make all of this cars. We will have to come back unless we make some more room. Making some more room is probably a good idea. Yeah. I need one more row. I do need those. I do actually need signals and things. Well, look, we can make another trip. That's fine. I mean, even though I don't need signals now, it's not enough by itself. Let's go with the cars we've got. It's 31 of them. So yes, this will be nice to finally start stepping up the science performance. We still have tons of half-built map to fill in, and bits that we haven't even built, like the extra oil pieces. If we're missing fuel, I guess the top oil will probably convert to something more significant. There goes the satellites. So yeah, while we're down here, we can quickly check just to see how these things are going. So for example, well, that one's actually getting through its stuff at this point. As is that one, so it's possible I am actually stretching this slightly. So we may need to do some work just to make sure that this keeps getting stuck. Oh, it's on 18, so what's it missing? Yeah, it seems to constantly be running short of this stuff. It's fairly close to coming down, but it's not there yet, so I might have to do a pass just to make sure that it is working fast enough. I mean, it's hard to tell. That's 6k per minute. I think it needs to be I'm not sure actually. We'll have to relook at some calculations, but yeah, we do need to speed. It does look like we need to speed that stuff up. What about this one? It's on its way, so that's probably good timing for that one. We're probably not quite ready for it because I haven't told it to bring additional science, so no, you're going too far over. That's actually slightly annoying. Let's see if we can keep its placement to the ones that we actually need. No, come on, over here. No, we ran out of the stuff we actually needed before we actually laid them all. Never mind. We will need all these others at some point anyway, so I guess that's fine. Oh, now we're wasting our... No, we probably needed that, so let's stay out of the way of that train as it comes through. Right. Swap over and we will come down here and start placing cars. Because we may as well. And that's it. So we need another 9 cars, and we need some more beacons, and we need some more modules. That's okay. This one is now in the second, so let's just have a quick look. What did it get up to? 1300. Yeah, these numbers are starting to get slightly higher with the cycle time of this, so having a slightly longer cycle time when it has to deliver to 4 is probably worthwhile, but I certainly am interested in seeing this one down here get a move on. Are we getting 4,000 at the... Yes, we're getting better than 4,000 basically as soon as it actually is supplied with this stuff, so yeah, that is something that we're going to have to keep a bit of an eye on. Let's go back, get 9 more cars. I think we're done for labs. I think we need to be back over this way just a little bit, and there we are. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, no, I didn't need those labs, did I? Alright, let's go for modules now. Actually, there were some modules still in that base, but I'm not sure if I had prod modules there, and that's what I am looking for the labs, of course. Here we go. Module build, something that will be pulled down once we have completed building everything. 40 times 2, is it? Let's get some more. 268. It's 2 per lab, isn't it? Yeah, let's just grab that many. Speed module 3s. And head back to our lab setup. Apologies if my fan is noisy. Computer's working overtime, plus I'm needing a little bit of fanning myself as it happens in the fairly humid Brisbane summer. Right, so it's up to here that we're worried about, so let's just move a little bit. Make sure the area that we actually need to get hit does get hit. Good. And now I don't care, we may as well just fly over to here and let the rest of it build, because we will want this part of it sooner or later anyway. There's some, looks like we overstocked on speed modules. You tend to need them sooner or later, so not such a big deal. Right, 50, good. Let's get the rest of these cars placed. Okay, now at some point I should actually put at least one piece of fuel in all these cars to stop this flashing. I think that would save me a little bit of UPS. Now the other thing is, how are these guys going? You're at yellow science and you're waiting. Still at yellow science, wow. Let's have a look at our circuit condition up here. Less than 3. Well, we're going to make that less than 4 now. I think that's all we need to change there. We need to add green wire, which I don't have. Let's just make sure it's called the right, it's not, so it needs to be called Science U. And oh, we can't do much else. They'll go in here anyway, so we should be fine for the moment. We need these things. We have electronic circuits. We just need copper cable. Is there a close supply of copper? Yeah, there is. So, now it's not going to be red signal equals 0 that we want. Oh, actually it is, in fact. So that's 1, 2. This one will be 3 now, which means that it might end up missing out because We just have a look at the supply numbers down here. You got about half, but that's not great. Oh, you're actually in more dire straits, and you okay, but whatever the issue is at Yellow Science, it needs to be fixed. Well, on the basis of that, I'm going to change this one to 3. Which will actually turn this one off. Now, the space science just needs to be set up as 4. And to really put a spanner in the works, what we need to do is tell this one basically to pick up about another 33,000 science when it's here. So instead of 105, let's make that 100 and I guess 40. And here, what we want to do is, I wish there was a copy function actually. Add SS path for time past 0, and then add space science 4 for time past 30 seconds. 30 seconds or 2 seconds of inactivity. And that's the condition. So we're at 13k, so it's a long way to go. Which might mean, ooh, one of these science trains has already arrived, so that's a good thing. Oh, yep, they're still going strong. So where is the next science train? Up to Yellow Science. Okay. I think we've actually done all that we need to do to make this work for 4 sciences now. So we can actually afford to take the time to see what's going on over here. 28,000, it's still going. That is good, but it's gonna stop pretty soon. So why are you not doing anything? No red science. What's wrong with your red science? 47,000. You have no iron, and you have no iron either. What about you? You also have no iron. T. 269. Okay, that could be several things. It could be we're just out of fuel. And I can't actually see, but that does look a little bit suspicious, doesn't it? This one has a bit, but we could do with adding some more. Alright, let's run up and get some fuel. Let's assume it's fuel, but obviously there's another iron, and maybe we need 3 irons, I think we were thinking, at one point to get the whole thing up and running. I tend to rob the oil that's right at the top. For some reason. I think I need a little bit more control on the production of oil to force it to happen a little bit more as well. But yeah, let's I don't have any steel chests, so we'll have to use this stuff. That's probably enough, actually. Those N ones seem to be favoured a little bit. So, yellow science iron. This is the problem. I still haven't gotten around to getting everywhere refueling themselves, so yeah. That needs to be a big push as well. That's the steel. Oh, that's too far over. Okay. That's where the copper comes in. So I think yep, this one here is the iron. Okay, let's put you on manual so you don't run away on me. And automatic. Now, your buddy I can't tell how much you have, but I'm assuming it's probably not good. Yeah, it doesn't show any fuel, so it's about to run out. Let's assume it's going to park up here. And we can fill it up with fuel as well. It actually runs for quite a while on that much fuel. How's this one doing? It's not bad, but since we're here and we oversupplied, and the rest of this can probably just go on here, because we do need to keep fueling that up. Okay, so that would explain kind of why we keep running out. How am I going to get fuel here? So the plan was for this to make fuel to fuel this area. This one might be a little bit out of the way for that. And we do have this fuel, but it's also kind of out of the way for that. So maybe we need to create a fuel train in here. We have actually created fuel in here, but just not a fuel train. Should increase the commitment a little bit. Anyway, let's have a look at yellow science, see if it is now running a little bit more effectively. Certainly that's what that one was missing. This one's still missing iron though, because it's obviously been this way for a little while without me really noticing. So unfortunately we may even run out of sciences, just as I have boldly stepped up the production amount. But we still have 3 producing, so that's not too bad. But this will be... I mean, you can see the rocket control units. They're all lined up here now. 22, yeah, we've got quite a long way to go there. And we have fuel, but we don't have the RCUs. Sorry, the LDS. That one is close. This one is not so close. Missing steel. So I may need to finish off the steel as well that we have started up here. So perhaps I can start investing in that. Do need to fuel this though. Well, if I did have this set up and it included fueling to here, because we wouldn't be fueling these these plate trains anyway. It's got 230k in there. I suppose it just stacked up while while the train sat empty. Oh well, they'll that means they'll fill these up again fairly quickly, I guess. That one's going. This one should be trying to pick up an iron. I would have thought, but I guess this one's taking... No, that's copper. That's copper. And that's copper. And we're still definitely out down there, so yeah, alright. No point getting too worked up about it, but a fuel thing from here, I don't know exactly where it's going to go in, but I want it to provide fuel across these guys, and I want it to provide fuel... Well, it doesn't actually need to provide fuel here. It does need to provide fuel over here, but not to here, because these ones get fueled when they come through here. So it needs to provide fuel there. And then I don't quite know how to get it to work to come up to here, but that's kind of what I'd like it to do. Well, there goes the acid train as well. That's building, but it does take quite a while for that to cycle. 30k, stuck at 30k, of course. Why wouldn't you be? Alright, let us, instead of getting totally bogged down, we put our stuff at the fuel, didn't we? Let's go back to fuel. This time mainly just to get our stuff. That's the fuel right at the top. And there we go with another tech. Well, let's keep them going. Remember that we kind of have this intention, I guess, to... Oh, excuse me. A little bit late. Get to about 500 as a workable kind of value to start with, to assume that this is effective. That's probably my stuff. Let's get some steel chests, because they're always useful. I don't think I need those. I certainly don't need wood. Not quite sure how I ended up with solar panels or that thing. Or constant combinators or pipe. We do need probably, say, 200 furnaces. 600 stack insert. No, don't auto trash stack inserters. And 100 substations, and whatever else we don't have, we'll make up in beacons. There we go. Because clearly, to keep our supply of low density structures happening, we need to keep the steel build, or not so much keep it even, but build it out. Oh, I should have got some of them as well. Alright, my little bots, go to work. It looks like, in fact, we are missing some of this build because of where plants were and things. And we could probably do with more robot speed, to be honest. Starting to slow down because we need productivity modules. And there go all those modules. What we might just do is, presumably the bit down here is also not doing so well. Now, I did fix one of these, or both of these, didn't I? I think what I want to do is make a copy of basically, whoops, all of that. And let's get some InfiniZoom action. I think this should fit perfectly over what we already have. Like so. So we can plant any things that we've just replaced. Oh, and why we're thinking about such things. Let's get about 60 of them. We actually have spare of those, although for how long when we start heading down to this segment down here? Probably not for too long. That's the thing about yeah, all gone. So yeah, let's keep it at 600. Now we're going to need more than 50 of those. Probably means we're not going to get nearly as many beacons in this time. We could also do with a bunch of rail. Not a lot of room for it though. Mining 230. Let's have a quick look at the science. Yellow in particular. Still nothing? Well, that really does take a while. Wouldn't surprise me if this has... No, it hasn't run out yet, but it can't be too far off. 4098, that's only about 60,000. 49,000, not even that. We are missing LDS as it turns out, so we're doing the right thing. 7.3, 1.1 due to no steel. Oh, that's the other thing I've been doing, is putting in these buffer chests and changing the passive, not the passive, the requested chests to include requests from passive requesters, because we kind of need that to try and unload the trains a little bit more evenly. Anyway, of course you do. Come on, bots, back you come. 48, there we go. So, yeah, let's get our next load. I might actually wrap the episode up fairly soon, and because it's going to get repetitive, we're just running backwards and forwards, just getting stuff to try and fill out the steel. Okay. In that case, let's get beacons, because there is no reason to not have beacons building when we are using lots of them. We're going to have to be conscious of the increase in power as well, and the fact that we're going to have to move the power soon again. Now unfortunately this time we start uncharged, so we're probably going to run out fairly quickly of useful material. Well, power is actually what I was talking about, wasn't it? Let's just go up to the top one since we have a bunch of these. Oh yeah, so we must be using steel chests in here as well. And we ran out of beacons very fast. Right. I'll pop down to the bottom one again, see if we can fill it out any further. There's 8 of these in total. In this segment. Well, if that's the case, then let's come over here. $270 might be a good point, especially if I'm going to be doing a bit of offline work to change it back to bot speed. It's 1,000,000 this time. That's actually quite a while, but there is quite a lot to do in setting up the steel. Wow. I think I need to do the old Infinity Zoom again. And not that one. I'm guessing it's this one. If it fits pretty well over the top, I'll assume that it is. I might make the most of remembering just now. Stamp that one down. Stamp all of those guys down, get out of Infinity Zoom. Something's coming out. What I want to do, just to be sure, is to run over this with the go away trees command. Because there's nothing like trees in the way to spoil your day when it comes to the longevity of blueprints. So here we go. My bots are somewhere around here, aren't they? Here we go. I'll let them fill up with wood. Still have a little bit of stuff in here that we can put down usefully. only there was some rapid charging system you could deploy or enter or use or something. Here we go again. Okay. While we drift down here, has yellow science sorted itself out? It has got stuff here. 31, that's about to be 32. Have we run out of science yet? Let's have a quick look. It is slowing down, perhaps. So I'm not sure which one we've actually run out of. Let's have a look here. We're getting very short on space science in here, which probably means all of these are getting short on space science actually. It is actually not the one that I thought would be the problem, but we have delayed the space science a little bit longer than usual. 67,000. Waiting on LDS. And LDS waiting on steel. There's actually 29,000 in that one, but none in that one. So we originally just had these four. I added these four in, but half of the time it's actually feeding the top one, which is why we need to bring on more over here. Where did we get to? We went too far. Let's come back. So if these bots busy, this getting very close to joining. Actually, what's the total on that? 928,000. That's not bad. I think I'll leave you there, guys. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully next time we'll have the steel up and running. We'll have the space science ticking over a little bit faster. And since we've just refueled the steel, the iron for yellow science, hopefully that's enough to keep that going a little bit better as well. And we should be making decent progress on this. So see you then, guys. Bye bye for now.